Once again, we are back for another news time. I feel like we make these all the time, although this is the second one I've made since like a couple months ago. So anyways, today is a big news time. We have a lot of topics to talk about, and although it's the off season, I have almost a full page of notes here of things that we can discuss. So it's going to be a big one. So first off, if you're new to the channel and you haven't already subscribed, please make sure to do that, as we're trying to get to 900 subscribers by the start of the 2021-2022 season. I would really appreciate it. We're just going to keep trying to roll out the content, keep having fun, usual things that we do. And, anyways, I'm not going to waste any more of your time. Let's get into the news time. So although it is a lot, we're going to try to roll through all of this in one take. There is a lot here. I'm not going to deny it at all. There is a lot here. A pretty dang good amount. Teddy Bluger re-signed with the Pittsburgh Penguins for a 2-year, $2.2 million contract. I always liked Teddy Bluger. I thought he was a solid center, probably playing like fourth, bottom 6 minutes. Never really in the top 6 of roles, but, he's good on the penalty kill. He can score goals when needed, but, he's a good depth forward for Pittsburgh, so I think that signing's pretty good. Vladimir Tarasenko, here's a big discussion. He listed his teams, or at least he didn't completely list them to us, but these are among the teams that we think. The New York Rangers, the New York Islanders, the Vegas Golden Knights, the Boston Bruins, the Philadelphia Flyers, the Tampa Bay Lightning, the Washington Capitals, and the Florida Panthers. That's 8 teams there, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, 8 teams. And notice how none of those teams are in Canada. So it's pretty obvious that Tarasenko is not going to Canada. He doesn't want to go to Canada. He wants to stay in at least a decently big American city, so I guess it makes sense. You could see him potentially go to places like maybe the Rangers, go out and get him. The Rangers are usually in on everyone. Vegas, that's a pretty obvious reason why. They're a dominant team. They could use a goal scorer like him. Philadelphia, although I think we need defense, I wouldn't mind Tarasenko wearing the orange and black, but I wouldn't complain if he wasn't. Tampa, I think that's just one team that they have in there. I don't think that's going to work. Generally, to be honest with you, when I look at their team, he's getting paid $7.5 million. There's no way they get that on top of everything else that they have. Maybe the Florida Panthers, I could see him going there too. Maybe some more goal scoring to provide there. And here's the thing. If he's healthy, and people are kind of overrating him, and St. Louis might be overrating him as well. If he's healthy, he is a top 15 goal scorer in the league. Maybe not top 15 player, but definitely a top 15 goal scorer. He can score goals. He proved that. He had 4 goals, 10 assists, 14 points this season. The fact that I know that off my head is unreal. But yeah, when he's healthy, he's a top 15 goal scorer, and he's gotten through his shares of shoulder surgery. So, it wouldn't surprise me if he does decide, you know what? I don't know. Maybe I'll just hang up the skates. But it looks like he does want to play for a team. So we're gonna see where he goes in probably the next couple of weeks. The Montreal Canadiens are not going to protect Shea Weber in the expansion draft due to an injury, and it actually could be career-threatening. Let's face it. Does Seattle claim the $8 million contract? I'm pretty sure it's $8 million that Shea Weber has. Does anyone here watching this video think that's possible? I don't see it. So I don't see that being a problem. The career-threatening thing could be a problem, but leaving him unprotected is not a problem. You can protect more people when you have him unprotected. So that's good to see. I mean, it isn't good to see. It's good for the expansion draft-wise to protect more people, but it's not good for Weber. So best of wishes to Weber in his recovery with his injuries. Some other Montreal Canadiens news. They signed Alex Belzile to a 1-year $750K/$250K contract. So obviously a 2-way deal, good depth, mostly an AHL signing. We've been seeing a lot of those go on today. I didn't think it was worth putting them on this already massive list. So, yeah. Pierre-Edouard Bellemare will not be re-signing with the Colorado Avalanche. Come back to Philadelphia. I'm just kidding. Maybe. I think that when I look at this, I say to myself, I'm like, all right, so it's a solid third-line center who played relatively well with the Colorado Avalanche. He's going to gain at least a little bit of interest. Maybe not a lot, but I think he'll definitely gain at least a little bit. And he may decide to be like, you know what? Russia has better opportunities for me, and maybe he just signs in the KHL. That's possible. We've already seen a lot of players do that so far, so it wouldn't surprise me if that occurred. Some Florida Panthers news, and a lot of Florida Panthers news happened today. In fact, I thought I was going to be making a full Panthers video. If one more news piece happened, I would just made all this in a full video. The Panthers bought out Keith Yandle, the Iron Man. Bought out the remaining 2 years of his contract. This is good. Although Keith Yandle, it's questionable, but I think Keith Yandle didn't play well this season relatively. He was scratched for a lot of it. And, I mean, he did play a lot of straight games. He was playing well at the start of the season, and then he kind of fell off. So it doesn't surprise me that they're buying out his contract. It's a smart move. You want to get that money off you, get some more cap space in there. And you know what they use that cap space for? To sign 2 key players. They signed Anthony Duclair, who, he's been bouncing around the league all the time. And he's been in Columbus, he's been in Ottawa, he's been in Arizona, he's been with the Rangers. He's been through the whole bunch. So I think he's here to stay in Florida, though. 3 years, $3 million contract. He played well this season despite being injured, and I just think that this is a good signing. They also signed Gustav Forsling to a 3-year, $2.6 million contract. Relatively a good signing. Forsling claimed off of waivers from the Carolina Hurricanes. When he played pretty well. So I think that a guy who he's a solid defenseman. And I mean you got Keith Yandle leaving obviously because of the buyout. It doesn't surprise me that this is occurring. So the Devils also signed Michael McLeod. Moving on to Devils news, to a 2-year $950K contract. McLeod, solid forward. I don't think that's really going to do anything for the Devils, make a difference there. Here's the big news. Ben Bishop. Ben Bishop waived his no-movement clause, so he will be unprotected in the Seattle Kraken expansion draft. And people are panicking, saying, "Oh crap, this is not good at all." It really isn't a big deal because they're going to protect Khudobin. Ottinger's exempt, and if they leave Bishop out there, I don't think Seattle claims him. And that's you might be saying, "Oh, that's a bold move." I don't think Seattle claims him. In all honesty, I look at his cap hit. I look at his health. And I say to myself, well, we could probably get a better forward in Jason Dickinson, and maybe we can get a different goaltender in whatever, Montreal or, Arizona. They have possibilities relatively, but I don't think they go with Bishop. I don't think they do. I think they go with either Jason Dickinson or someone else. I don't see them going with Ben Bishop down that mark. Although it looks like it could happen, I don't see it. The Nashville Predators signed Cole Smith to a 1-year contract, $750K/$70K, so it's a 2-way. Good AHL signing, as I said. The AHL signings are rolling in. Here's some news regarding the Arizona Coyotes. Darcy Kemper. There's an extension. It's not happening. There's no extension happening. So whether it's after this season or he gets traded this offseason, he's not coming back to the Coyotes. And it honestly sucks. For me personally, I think when healthy, he's a top 15 goalie, and that might be some bias, but I think he honestly is. With people underrate him, hardcore. He's a hardcore underrated player. He has 1 year left, $4.5 million. So they're gonna try and move him, and I just think that with Kemper, back in 2020, he practically carried us to the through the Nashville series, and then he stole a game from Colorado. In that series to win Game 3, and he tried his best to keep us in that playoffs, but we just couldn't put anything in front of him. And Colorado's a powerhouse team against the wild card Arizona Coyotes, so it sucks. But I wish Kemper the best where he goes. There's a potential he goes to either Colorado or Toronto. Those are the 2 top teams I've heard. Apart from that, I haven't heard anything else regarding it. So I'll probably put it in a later news time. If it does happen. So, the Calgary Flames have signed Brett Ritchie to a 1-year $900K contract. I said that it may be worth re-signing Brett Ritchie for good depth. Although he wasn't the best player this season. He won't probably play on the roster, guys. He probably will be at best an AHL forward. In all honesty, I don't see him playing a lot on the Flames roster next season. Not after what the heck happened this season with him. So I guess it's a good signing. I mean, they don't have too many big problems, as I said in the review a couple days ago. But yeah, I just honestly don't. It's not terrible. Zach Hyman. This is our final piece of news for today. Zach Hyman was given permission to talk to other hockey teams, so he's going to work out a signing, and he's going to talk to many teams. I don't see any teams. We'll see teams pop up as the days progress on from now on, but I haven't heard anything. I've heard teams that may be interested in him, but I haven't heard anything that's of note, that's worth, saying. So, Hyman, obviously a good forward for the Toronto Maple Leafs. Parting ways with them, of course. I mean, who wouldn't? They keep losing in the first round. So, I think that it's a good move. And I think that wherever Hyman goes, he's definitely going to provide a lot of assets. So, that's the news time for today. Thank y'all for watching. I hope you guys enjoyed it. These don't get much views, but if you could view it and like the video, I really would appreciate it. And yeah, thank y'all for watching, for our support as of late, and I will see you guys in the next video.